when you can start to do it at the speed you're doing it in America, obviously then you can relay that to over here. Yeah. Obviously you're not going as fast, but obviously with the track changing so much over here, because they water it obviously between races, the track changes obviously a lot more than what it, the track changes in America, but throughout the night they do maybe track prep for the feature. However, over here, obviously the track gets watered every race, so obviously sometimes it takes longer for the water to go than others. It's just reading the track and reading the race, and obviously when you get used to doing it at that speed, like I say, it becomes a lot easier to do over here when we're going slower.
Yeah, you can see that as well, because like I said, like Ryan, when he did the maximum at King's Lynn, I was there that night and just watched him in the final, and he just knew exactly where to go before anyone else did, and he just.
Yeah.
It was almost like it was all in slow motion, watching everybody else seemed to have their
you can almost make the decision of where to go before anybody else even thought about,
That's what it looked like.
And that's the thing as well. When the driving of the car becomes natural, you can think about passing other cars and where to go on the racetrack, can't you? But when you're struggling to drive the car, you're not thinking about where to go on the track. You're happy to make the corner, aren't you?
Just focusing on the car, aren't you, rather than what's going on ahead of you? Yeah, absolutely.
I suppose if we talk about back over here, you've got to say that I know you've had a blinding year, Tom, but the old boy Wainman, he gave you a run once or twice, didn't he?
I was about to say that. Yeah,
he
gave you a run for your money.
Yeah,
Frank's had probably his best season for a while, hasn't he?
Definitely.
Yeah,
a couple of years. And like you said, he was at the sharp end of the world final. He's always there, isn't he? He's always there or thereabouts. You never
shoots out everything.
He was there. The shootout, wasn't he? You can never rule Frankie out of any major title or any big race because and it's like a similar sort of thing with Frank. He's done it for so long. It's the driving of the car is just natural. It's the race that obviously he can read and that's how he does what he does. The hits, and like we said before about the hits and stuff. He's been in New Zealand so many times. He's been in so many battles and rivalries and stuff over the years. He knows how to give a hit and take a hit. It's without even thinking about it.
I like that also when he half rolled it and he had his finger on the button before it even landed, hadn't he?
Yeah. If that was anybody else, they would have been upside down. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
That was an incredible bit of driving. I don't know who put him in. I can't remember.
Oh, I don't agree with it. I think 3 or 4 laps later they cautioned it, and then probably 5 or 6 laps later he managed to get me back as well. So
Who do you really enjoy racing with over here, sort of thing, Tom? I mean,
I enjoy all the big battles and stuff. Like, one-on-one, you've got to say, me and Frank had a great race at the European. We've had a great race at the Bradford. It's happened. I've been on the outside of him at Mildnor, and I managed to get around him, and then he was on the outside of me at Bradford, and unfortunately for me, he slid to bounce out the fence and hit me, and I spun round and Polley cleaned me out. But it was any sort of race like that. When there's 2 or 3 of you, like that final at Bradford as well, when everyone was knocking 7 barrels out of each other, that's stock car racing, isn't it? That national at Skegness.
Yeah.
With Frank, Lee, whoever else was involved at Speaky. Them sort of races, they're the sort of races I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody does, don't they? The fans and drivers alike.
You get a good hit, bounce out the wall and get back into the next corner and have another go, sort of like, what I mean? That's what stock car racing is, isn't it?
Definitely, yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean, we go referring back to the Chili Bowl. You're driving for a different team this year, aren't you? So you with Keith Guns previously. So what's the deal this year?
Well, to be honest with you, with New Zealand, I wasn't planning on actually going to Chili Bowl, if I'm completely honest.
Okay, really?
Because I haven't been to New Zealand for so long, and the Joblin family have been great for me for ever since we first went to New Zealand. I think 2009, I think it was 2008, 2009. And they've Russell and Karen came to Florida with Marty. This last Florida, they come and watched in February. So, and we spoke about then about going over. So my dad and Bozzy are going over end of this month actually to go over to New Zealand. So it was always sort of like in the plan to go to New Zealand and catch up with those guys and drive one of their cars. So that's always been sort of like, you know, thing. And with Chili Bowl being so close to New Zealand, it was kind of like, yeah, I've been there. Maybe I should just have a year off from that and go and do New Zealand properly with the amount of cars I've got to do and work I've got to do as well. Try and have a bit of a, you know, gather some time up from somewhere. But then obviously Rob being Rob, we come to an agreement, and yeah, we've got another fantastic car from Chandler Grand Prix. Grady Chandler, he raced himself and unfortunately had a serious injury, so he's actually in a wheelchair now. It's the same team that Walt Hoffman drove for last year.
Right.
You know, they've got great cars. Toyota Speedway Toyotas, Bullet by Spike. You know, it's all the bells and whistles. So, you know, why wouldn't you go when the offer's there to go and do that? So, so yeah, that's the plan behind that. Go over there and hopefully we can get a bit of a practice on the Friday, and then I was hoping to go to DeCoin, but again, it didn't quite work out with everything we had planned. So, get that sorted. Go and do a bit of practice on Friday. Then obviously I think the practice day again is Sunday, and then I'm not sure what night my prelim night's going to be, but yeah, really looking forward to getting a midget again. I was hoping to do a bit more this later part of the year in a midget just to get a bit of time ready to go sort of thing. But I'm sure we'll be able to pick up, you know, within 3 or 4 laps of where we were last time.
You've got to earn a living somewhere, haven't you, Tom? That's the thing.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like I said before, I've got so many cars to go on, so much work to do. That was the whole idea behind not going to Chili Bowl, not through, you know, any other disruption really. It was just the fact that I wanted to go to New Zealand and I couldn't really do both. But as it happens, Rob's going to help me with my truck and stuff and get some time back there as well. Because that's another thing we're trying to do. Got to do all these stock cars do and get a truck converted for next year. So it's
work on. So what? So you sold your World Championship winning car.
Yeah, the little calves the everyone knows. Callum Thornton's having it.
Yeah. So and now you've got to build a new one. So have you actually started it yet?
No.
The new car. Right.
We've done bumpers and side rails on Callum's car now.
Right.
And the steel work on that's all ready for him to have now. So he's been over on Monday and he's been over again today. He's pulled all the wrap off the side of it now, so it's officially not mine anymore.
Right.
It still looked like mine. You know, I had my assignment on it, but now all that's gone as well. So yeah, that's done. Catherine's car's got bumpers on it. And Dad have been doing that, and we've been Simon Traves' car. We've got that running today. So we've got a leak sort on that, which we'd have done if it wasn't for you guys' interruptions. But no, we've got a leak on the steering box of that, and then hopefully that'll go this weekend, and then on to the next one.
So is Catherine just running the one car next year, Tom?
I'm obviously the shell car that I'm driving is actually Catherine's, isn't it? So
yeah.
But I'm not going to get a chance to do these cars and a shell car for myself before the start of the season. So I'm going to race. Yeah, so Catherine's in one car to start with. However, we and Catherine was in the truck on the way to the British Championship, and she said that if you win, I'll race it tomorrow. And she didn't have the balls to get in it. Did you race it then? No. So that's going to be fun for start. Yeah.
So then, what about the tarmac? Your new tarmac car, then? So that you'll get going on that sort of as and when, or just when you get time? I suppose you don't really get.
I've got another couple of tarmac cars to do for other people. So
right.
But again, I want to change a few things from where I were on. So it'd be ideal to build
even quicker.
Do it next to each other, wouldn't it? But that's not going to be the case, I don't think so. But
So what are your aims then for this year? What stock car wise? You want to obviously retain that world championship crown.
Yeah, I obviously the World Final being at King's Lynn would, and 3 in a row, that'd be obviously extra special. But it's stock car racing, isn't it? Anything can happen. You could win and be winning by miles, get a flat tire. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's just it's part of the game. So unfortunately, Ipswich didn't go my way, but that was through a few other different things. It wasn't mine, but flipping out the track in America the week before probably didn't
help. Yes, exactly.
For a World Final, but no, just as long as we're enjoying it, we'll do as much as we can and keep it. I want to go to Holland again to blow out to the King's Battle. Do that.
Venray or not?
Yeah, I'll probably go. I don't know if I'm completely honest. I'm thinking about it, but then I was going to go, and me and Henry didn't get a chance to speak, but it just depends on their terms, really, because I believe bygones should be bygones and agree to disagree, but I'm sure that's the case with them. So we'll just see if I'm allowed to go back and see if I'm welcome there. So that'll be the interesting thing.
All right, okay. But Blauhaus definitely one you want to do again, definitely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. The King's Battle, we got really well over there. They really looked after us, and it's a joy to go. So it's probably a bit of a social weekend away sort of thing. It's good, isn't it? And obviously with Steed having a new car as well, and he wants to do a couple of the weekends in Holland. So it'd be good to take him over there as well.
As you see, I'm behind. I've got the drawing that I've been labouring over the last few weeks.
I'm sure I built the actual car quicker than you did the drawing.
You did. No, you did. I actually said that.
Yeah.
I think you did. Well, you started in July. It only took a couple of months, didn't it, to build the bloody thing? So
and I did cut the front off it again because I wasn't happy with it.
Yeah, he did.
I've been massively over it.
I can't believe that you chopped everything. When we were talking at Skeggy and you turned up with it, and we were all taking the mick because you hadn't painted it, and you gave the reasons, and you said, anyway, if I'd have painted it, I wouldn't have been able to chop it up like I did, because your dad was going mad, wasn't he?
He wasn't impressed. Yeah. It was on its wheels one night, and then it went back in the next day, and there was nothing left of it. And then we got it on the scales and stuff, and we had a few issues. So then we set about with the grinder again and hacked it. And then I think even actually in Rob's workshop, I was on the Saturday. I don't know if it was a Friday or a Saturday. I was still hacking at it with
Friday. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But what
we're gonna.
that made history as well, didn't it? Car coming out first time, winning the World Final.
Never been done before.
Definitely not a bad thing for Tom Harris car building, is it? Really?
No, definitely not. It's was actually talking to little Colin about it the other day, and was on about which way we're going around things and what sort of order we're going to do it in, and said our Steed's is next to be done. His is in the trailer, we've got a 40-foot curtain cider with a bit of storage sort of thing, and his car's in there at the minute. So going to get that and get that finished next. And he said, and I was moaning about, you've got to do this one and then this one, and then hopefully I can do mine. He said, what do you mean hopefully? I said, well, hopefully I can squeeze mine in then. He said, you shouldn't be so bloody good at your job, should you? You won't have this issue.
Yeah, that's it.
No, it's good, isn't it? I've had some, not just myself, but my cars have had some really good results this year.
Yeah.
Lenton in Holland, in Venray, he's been going really well. Steed's had a good year over here. He's won a few races, and he's actually sold that car to have a new one. So that's good. I mean, Catherine's had a good end to the year. Yeah, Ashley Higgins been going well. It's been good. Well, obviously, Jake had a phenomenal start to the year. Unfortunately, it's not a car that I built. Just one I've done a lot of work to. But yeah, it's obviously Polley's. We've done a lot of work on Dave Polley's car. He's had a good year for his first year.
I'll tell you what. I know Dave from the twos, but I've not really watched him much in the ones and that. But to do what he did with one car in that shootout, you got to take
unbelievable.
Your hat off to
him.
He
did a fantastic job.
He put so much effort in, though. Like we even moved the steering box on it from shale to tarmac. We put like a steering box in the engine bay on the right side for tarmac, and he put it back in the cab for shale. So he put a massive amount of effort in, and I believe he was rewarded for the effort that he put into it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
As the saying goes, you only get out what you put in, don't you? So
yeah,
fair play to him. He did a really good job in his first year. Really, really impressed.
And he's a bit of a TV celeb as well now.
He is. He's fantastic, isn't he? Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, really good. Jonathan, I'm going to start these rumours off, I think.
The only time I've ever seen Dave before is when I've been up in race control, because we're on after the twos or whatever. He's always up there moaning because he'd been docked or whatever. So I always thought he was a right miserable so-and-so. And then this BSCDA thing come out and he's a right character.
I believe that's been good for the sport, hasn't it? What the BSCDA done with the interviews and stuff.
Oh, they were fantastic, those.
You know,
absolute fair credit to them.
Keeps a bit of hype going towards the next meeting, doesn't it? And I believe that's why the shootouts work so well, like this later part of the year, because the effort they've put in and the effort the drivers have put in with, like I said, that bit of extra prize money and the bit of extra start money, whatever, goes a long way, doesn't it? You know, you can get another tyre and you can risk a bit of damage, can't you? So, and I believe that's what's made the racing so good towards the end of the year.
Yeah, all sports need personalities, and that's brought out the personalities of the people out of the car rather than just seeing the car going around. You're actually getting a bit of a personality, and you watch the darts. That's all about personalities. It's not about the game, and that's what we need. We need to boost that up.
Definitely. It's good, like, you know, for the fans coming around the pits and stuff, being able to come and speak to the drivers is great for stock car racing, because, you know, it shows, you know, the person behind the helmet, doesn't it? It shows you who that person is, and, you know, which is great. We've so many young fans come around for pictures and stuff and for trophies. That's really good as well, isn't it? Because they're the future of our sport, and I believe the future of our sport is going to be really, really healthy.
Yeah, a couple of quick ones before you go then, Tom. Shale or tarmac?
Ooh. Now or before?
well, you know,
both.
Yeah.
Like Coventry, I really enjoyed Coventry. I used to really enjoy Coventry. But I do like tarmac. Like, tarmac's always been kind of, since I got into Formula, I've always kind of preferred tarmac. You've got to be a bit more precise and a bit more finesse, isn't it, than shale? You can get away with a bit more on shale. So I do enjoy it. Obviously, the speed we're on tarmac is good, but then again, you know, if you get a grippy track with a bit of moisture in it, you can soon fly around Kings Lynn or Northampton or that. You know, it's and obviously from sprint cars and my driving style that I've managed to bring back here, that's enjoyable as well. You know, so that's a tough one for me, to be honest. It is tough. Yeah.
Well, you're bloody brilliant on both of them. You make me sick. On
that note,
I was going to say, what is your favourite track that you've raced on in the UK? You know, before and now. I think you might have mentioned it with Coventry, possibly. Then
Coventry for shale. I do believe Coventry was. Yeah, I did really enjoy Coventry. Local track, used to get lots of your family there as well to support you, and you know, it was like start first meeting of every month, wasn't it? It was like you know, ritual to everyone went to Coventry. It was good. Lots of cars, you know, enough cars to run 3 heats. It was, you know, a 3-heat format. It was good. And the bar afterwards, it was, you know, grew up as a kid with my dad, and that used to go in there. It was, Coventry was probably my favourite shale track.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be giving away one in a prize draw, one of the limited edition prints of you winning at Skegness. That'll be part of this podcast, and I'll send one to you as well. You give me, I'll send one.
Do I get one?
Eh?
I was going to say, do I get one of those?
Yeah. I think you probably will. Yeah, probably get one.
I appreciate that.
Do you want number 1 or number 84?
84 was already gone, believe it or not. 84, we can't have that. Or 8. Okay, so many people wanted. I had a queue of people wanted 84. I thought I'd give you one.
Charge more for them ones.
Eh?
Charge more for them ones.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah,
should
do really, shouldn't I? Should do.
Yeah, if you want to pick your number, then you should charge an extra tenner.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, deal.
I won't tell people that. They'll never bloody buy them, will they? If I do that. Yeah. So look, Tom. Many thanks again for coming on. It's really appreciated. Spending the time. It's been fascinating as well.
Been great.
Really good.
Having me on, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been good. Cheers, Tom.
Yeah, fantastic.
Guys. Hopefully, have a good yours soon. Have a good Christmas and.
Have a Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all in the new year, and hopefully you'll have got in the big show at Chili Bowl and win the Worlds down at New Zealand.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? You know, to make that big show at Chili Bowl again. That's one thing I really want to do at Chili Bowl is if you've ever seen it, they put the whole place in darkness. They just have a tunnel that lights up, and the cars come through it. Except the year that I make the feature of the Chili Bowl, the drivers go onto the stage in the infield, and the cars come through. The drivers out in the cars. I was gutted. I really want to go through that tunnel in the car and go around to line up. I was absolutely gutted.
Well, it's an incentive to get there. The thing is, though, just very quickly again, I know we all said have cheerios and goodbyes or whatever. But that's the thing with the chili bite. It's a frustrating. It's a fantastic event, but for drivers, it must be frustrating because there's a lot of waiting around, isn't there? You've got like you've got your heat and your qualifier, and if you screw that up, it pretty much screws your whole weekend, doesn't it? If you don't
then you start at breakfast time on Saturday, and that's not when you want to be racing.
No,
you can have some bad runs there. Like it was a fault of my own. When I run for Keith, I was running third or fourth in the Prelim main. And I pulled it on the caution, like a complete idiot. And there's all these tricks. They pop your belts, it's the safety. They'll put you back in your position, or turn the stumble valve on, or whichever you would like to do. And I never forget. So obviously gets back to the transport. Everyone's dead frustrated, and like Keith pats me on the back, like just great job, blah blah blah. It's one of them things. So it gets in the car. Everyone's being dead nice. Gets in the car. Phone rings. Robert Below answers it. What an effing dick. He said, if you'd have done 10 more laps, you could have stood on the front straight and got on the cage. You what an idiot. Thanks, Robert. I'm crying inside right now, and that's what he said, eh?
Because you'd actually won the heat and the qualifier, hadn't you? You won 2 races at that.
And I don't know if I was running third or fourth in the feature. It was really good, and then that happened. It's gone down from there, really. I think the year after that, I was running fourth or fifth, and Tanner Holmes flipped and pretty much landed on my car, and that knackered that one. And then last year blew a car, stumbled off the start, and I missed him with the front wheel and destroyed it down the front straight. So
that was rather unfortunate, wasn't it?
If you're not going to win, be spectacular. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
One of Colin's photos, that is. So
publicity, eh?
Well, yes, exactly.
You're just unlucky. You're unlucky. You need so much luck there. I mean, you talk about making the A main. There's 20 cars get into the A main. There's 350 drivers there to get into that. You've got to be the top 2 every night. And again, what you've done to get in it is absolutely fantastic achievement.
It's something that again, like people I know that good friends of mine through sprint cars and stuff, that they've never made a Chili Bowl A main, and they've raced sprint cars and stuff for their whole lives. It's to be in that group of people. I don't know how many people have actually made a Chili Bowl A feature. I don't know. I don't know the stats on it, but to be in that group of people that have made that Chili Bowl A feature on Saturday, that's really special.
The first year you went out there, I remember watching you racing, and Kenny Wallace couldn't catch you. Kenny Wallace is a NASCAR driver, and he couldn't catch Tom. And I thought, well, this is something else. This place.
Now Jack's going as well. Jack Francis is obviously out there, and Walt Hoffman's going as well. It's good, isn't it? To get a few more people out there and show that we mean business, sort of thing. That we're coming over there, and we're not just going to go over there and have a ride around. We're going over there to compete and get on that podium, sort of thing.
We did comment about Wobbs, didn't we? We said he was bloody good, the Dutch lad. When we'd done before, how well he did really as well.
Yeah. He's got the right idea, hasn't he? He's young, isn't he? He's gone out there. He's actually living out there quite a bit, isn't he? Now, and the sprint car thing, and fair play to him for the effort that him and his family are putting in, because it costs a lot of money to go out there and to live out there, and it's a huge commitment. So hats off to them guys for making it possible for him to live like probably all of our dreams, so to speak. Who wouldn't want to go over there and be a sprint car driver? I can't think of people.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you once again, then, Tom. I'll tell you what.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and best of luck out in the States and New Zealand, and we'll catch up again in the new year.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers, pal.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Who's recording?
Me again. I always like to do little outtakes in case there's anything, but the truth's out now, so I
can't. We're going to Port City on the Friday. I believe that a few people went last year.
I went there on midweek, and somebody was practicing there about Thursday or Friday last year.
Yeah, so apparently they do like a practice day, I think. Well, it might be Thursday, whichever it is, Thursday or Friday. So there's a practice day out there. So We're going to go get some seat time, and
that's what it's all about, getting seat time and getting laps.
Yeah. And I'm actually going to go to Skeg, and obviously Rob's got his midget there.
All right.
So we're going to have a play in that, and if it's no good at Skeg, then I'm going to see if the weather's any good. See about hiring Kingsland for a day, just to start to, the acceleration and how twitchy they are, being so short. It's completely different driving to anything, and it does take you a few laps to get back into it.
Well, Rob found it a bit tough, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
He said the hardest thing he's ever done.
I've never seen him get out of a car so fast in my life, ever. I went from the bottom of the ramp, halfway up the ramp where they'd all stopped, and he was out the car, sat on the cage with his helmet off, like red as anything. Honestly, I can't breathe. So I did the last 3 laps with my eyes trying to get some air in.
He's exhausted him.
Being in that building, it's so different to being outside. With how the engines run and just everything, really. It's how the track changes. It's so different to like what you'd get outdoors. It's completely different.
Mm.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah,
making memories, aren't you, Tom? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? When what year did I buy that sprint car? 16, was it? Yeah, I think it was 2016 when I sold my Tarmac car to Mark Gray.
Right.
And when I was actually driving from Bob's, and everyone thought, when I got over there, and I remember I went to Indiana Sprint Week, did the Gas City race. It was 2015. Did I win the European 2015? Whatever it was. Anyway, I did the Gas City race the first night of Indiana Sprint Week. I did that, and I was like, bloody hell. And then Janice East, Bob's wife, was like, bloody hell, yep, Tom, yep, you completed your first sprint car meeting, sort of thing. Didn't do it. I got out of the heat. I think I was last in the steam main or whatever I did. Anyway, then we went to Kokomo, and we was in the truck, and Dad was driving, Bob was sat in the front directing, and he said, have you put your big boy pants on? And I looked at Dad, what's he going on about? And he said, you'll need your big boy pants today. And that's all he kept on about all the way there. Anyway, then we got, obviously, as everybody's been to Gas City, it has like one bit of Armco down the front straight, and it's just like banked, and then you go off the banking, and it's a field or the pit area. Or we got to Kokomo, and I'd never seen anything like it in my life. And I was in like the 3rd or 4th hot lap group. So he's like, Bob's like, come and stand and watch. I know, sorry, I missed a bit. So it was tyre packing. So I'm running around, like everyone over here, don't they, runs around the infield. And obviously at Kokomo, it's flat and then goes up the banking. So I was running around like kind of on the banking a bit and whatever, and wheel packing. So I come back in, he says, what the hell are you doing? I says, what do you mean? He says, you're not even on the racetrack. I was like, all right, aren't I? He says, you're not even on the racetrack. Come and watch. So we go up there, and on turns 1 and 2, like you can stand, there's a catch race, and you stand, and the cars, you look down on the cars, like you're still on top of the wall. Well, they went round, and then it went green, and the first one went by, and I thought, oh, all right, okay. And then the boys come round, and literally, they come to you, disappear, because you can't, like, your wheels wasn't looking over. Well, I took 2 steps back, so Bob grabs me and says, no, watch. And they were literally on the fence in hot laps. I was like, oh, right. So I went out in hot laps, and I wasn't last, actually. I wasn't last. I was impressed I wasn't last. And then I went out in qualifying, and honestly, I pull onto the track, and like you push off down the chute, go onto the track down the back straight, rounds 3 and 4, then take the green down the start straight. I held my breath from when I went down past the start finish line. I never breathed once until I crossed the finish line and went through the middle, and I was actually in the pits, sat on the scales before I remembered to breathe. And I pulled back to the pits, and Bob says, I get out and I got muck all over my Terre off, and my visor's down, and I got muck all over it. He says, why didn't you pull a Terre off? I said, I'm not taking my hands off the steering wheel. No way. And then Robert Blue was watching me that night, actually. He said it was quite good to watch, actually. He said you was on the gas. He said you was on the gas until the string broke. He said you got faster and faster and faster. He said, and then the string broke, and then you crashed.
Fantastic that. So when you go out to the Chili Bowl, who's driving from the airport to Tulsa? I hope you are.
Not Rob.
No, I was going to say.
He's absolutely terrible, honestly. So we're twice together now, me and him. So we get out of the airport in Texas, Dallas, the airport. Like we hadn't literally got onto the highway, and someone's beeping the horn, right? And he goes, "Jazz, what's up with him?" He just took his wind mirror off. So, it was just a standing joke then about like he just And then anyway, last time we went to this restaurant place, like this bar area, and there's some dragsters hung in the roof and stuff, and the food was really good. So when we went last year, we were trying to find this restaurant. Well, we didn't really know what it was called, so we just were guessing. It was, I think it was down here and here and here. So anyway, I was on the wrong side of the road to go to where I needed to go. So we had a bit of like a 4x4 car sort of thing. So I went straight over the centre reservation. He said, "You can't," as he said, "can't." I hit the centre reservation, up over the top, straight across the middle, back down the road, got off the... And he said, "You call me for driving?" But laugh, honestly.
You had a great time.
Yeah. The only thing that kept us awake, honestly, was just laughing. Just got for coffee for him. And it was great. Great times. Like you say, making memories.
Absolutely.
Memories that you'll never forget.
Yeah.
No,
Do it while you're young enough to do it. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, you're still in your 30s, aren't you? You're not 40 yet, are you? 37, 36?
36.
Yeah,
that picture you put up on the back net wall now was actually, that was after Knoxville Nationals. So
right,
we raced Knoxville Nationals. I think it's 2018 or 2019. Raced the Nationals and had a great idea. We was going to drive through the night back to Indy, which is 9 hours or so. Put an engine in the non-wing car, and then go to Terre Haute and race. And it was when Blue had his broken arm. So Blue says, "If you get the motor swap, you go to sleep in the back of the truck, and I'll drive to Terre Haute." So we get there for just as Hot Laps is pushing out. And Hot Laps is qualifying. Well, this is me during Hot Laps, right? Absolutely thinking I'm in a wing sprint car. So Robert comes back in, and I was fastest in my group. And Blue says, "You need to slow down. You're going to really, really hurt yourself." He says, "You can't drive it like a wing car, you know." He says, "Like, slow the F down." And then I didn't transfer out my heat, actually, because obviously they invert the top 4 or 6. I didn't transfer out my heat, so I had to go in the B main. Well, I won the B main, and he was like leant over the fence, like telling me to just slow down. I was winning by ages, and I'm literally driving the wheels off it. And so starts whatever I started in the feature, and I was running 5th, I think. And anyway, the brake pads they'd worn that much that the one pad had fell out the left front, and obviously it had no pedal because then the piston had come out and then it had no fluid. So I'm trying to drive, and Terre Haute's fast. I'm trying to drive a non-wing sprint car around Terre Haute with no brakes. Well,
if you can imagine Terre Haute, just for people who haven't seen it, the big track at Venray is about the same size as Terre Haute.
But flat. There's no
flat, but flat, yeah.
Flat.
Yeah.
It's fast.
Yeah.
So going around there, and I was throwing it so anyway, I did a slider for to take 4th place, but couldn't slow down enough because I had no brake pads or no brake fluid left in it. They're like, Terre Haute doesn't build a very big cushion because it's so flat. Like the race actually gets to the fence.
Yeah.
Hit the fence, slap the front in the fence, lose like 3 or 4 places. Then they throw a caution. And he's literally over the fence, like, slow the F down. And my dad are on the infield, it's like, slow down. And I ended up driving like a complete idiot. And I went for a short slider, so obviously peeled off, but it was so slick. Everyone was running the fence. I peeled off, but by the time I got threw it sideways to slow it down, there was nothing there. So rather than clean the guy out, I spun myself out, and then another guy ran into me and bent my headers and broke my drop arm, so I didn't finish. But I got a stern talking to on the way home from him. That whole freaking night for you to drive like that. Yeah. What could have been, eh? What could have been?
Yeah. No, like I said in the thing, Tom, though, what you've done, you know, people underestimate it really because, you know, if you follow that type of thing, you know, just like Colin, he's fanatical with it all.
Yeah.
But, you know, they sit there and they go, oh, Tom only got 8th in the A main or whatever. And, you know, you just think you have no idea.
No, but like to be in some of them features, to make a USAC national feature and to start, if you make the feature and whether you qualify through the heat race or the B main or whatever you do, you've made a statement. Like it's a big deal.
Of course.
Yeah.
Hard charger awards as well.
Yeah. That, you know, to get hard charger at Chili Bowl as well. The year I made I went 15th to 4th for my prelim night qualifier, and I was
that's right.
That was when they took 3 through to straight to the end, and I missed out by 1 slot. Like got the Jason Leffler hard charger award, hard charger award at Eldora and at Knoxville in a USAC normal sprint car.
No, it done well, mate. It done well.
Good. But them little things are so far drawn out because, and the way I see it is, you know, if Kyle Larson or Brad Sweet have a bad night's racing, it gets forgotten about because they go next week and win.
Yeah.
Whereas I go 3 times a year, and if you have a bad night, it sticks with you until the next go. Do you know what I mean? It sticks with you for 3 months until you go again. Like it's
frustrating that.
But that's the other thing as well, isn't it, Tom? You know, like when you talk about Frank and stuff like that, he races week in, week out, and like over there, you're going 3 times a year. So you know, it's just. And that's getting back into it.
You've got to relearn how to drive again. Almost.
That's the big difference as well. Like, obviously, a lot of people got a lot more experience than me. But, you know, like when you go to Volusia or Florida beginning of the year, like I'm at my depth, but I'm not. The gap isn't as big as when I go to Pennsylvania in June because they've all raced 4 months, 3 months. And then, you know, but they're racing Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every week, and then if it's like one of the top guys that are racing a Silver Crown car, a sprint car, and a midget, you know, they're probably racing 4, maybe 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like in different divisions across Power I, USAC, this local race here, there, everywhere. You know, they've probably raced like say 30 times before I.
But it's just.
I also know what the track's going to do because I went to track in Pennsylvania. It absolutely pissed down in the afternoon, and Billy Pouch was there, and I said to him, "Oh, they're going to run the race." He said, "Yeah, they're getting the race in because it's not going to rain anymore." He said, "But the heat race is going to be down the bottom. The feature is going to start down the bottom, go to the top, and down at the bottom at the end of the feature." And that's exactly what happened. He knew what the track was going to do before the meet had even started.
Yeah, it's like the USAC guys as well. Like when it rained in Pennsylvania, it rained at Williams Grove, and it was really wet, really heavy. Like I used like 30 or 40 tear-offs in the feature. But that was like I was running the top in the feature, and I got into the top 10, and then I hit because the cushion wasn't against the fence. It was sort of like building up, but because it was so wet, it had sunk so low, it had got quite heaped up. But because there was so much back in it, it was so hard. It was like a curb, not a cushion.
Yeah.
Well, I hit that wrong twice and lost 5 or 6 places. And then I was going above it, which was really good. And I got 3 or 4 places back. But then you make one mistake again, and you've just spent the next 5 or 6 laps gaining 3 positions. You make one mistake and lose 5 positions. I mean, it's how critical it is. And the thing is with a non-wing car as well, when you've got 35 gallons of methanol hanging off the back of it, the rear of the car is so low. So actually, it's not very tippy. So, but at the end of the race, when the cushion becomes a curb and you've lost 30 gallons of fuel, then the back of the car gets up, it gets really tippy, and you're trying to slam it against a concrete wall. You know what I mean? It's the finesse of it is so fine, and you're going so fast. Like if you miss your entry point by a couple of feet, you're screwed. If you miss your entry point, well, not even a couple of feet. If you miss your entry point by a foot in America, you're in the shit. If you miss it by 2 meters here, what's the worst going to happen?
Yeah.
you might push on a little bit. Like, you're not going to flip over or roll over or hit the wall. You know what I mean? It's not.
That's the other thing. When 5 cars get past you, it's not like you can get rid of 3 of them at the next bend, can you?
No,
no, exactly.
No, and the thing is, like, the equipment over here has got so much better over the years, hasn't it? There's so much. Everyone's got good kit, haven't they?
Yeah. No one's got any junk.
From the white top to the Superstar, they've all got the similar engines and the same sort of car. You know what I mean? There's not many that aren't in that. The 2-car thing now, is it? There's so many people who've got 2 cars. You know, Danny Wainman does it with 1 car.
Well, but an amazing job with that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, it's difficult, isn't it? You know, you have 1 car, and you change both axles, this, that, and the other. Is it the same car?
Yeah.
You do so much work to make it go on tarmac or shale. Like, we did Catherine's car for the semi at King's Lynn, and we didn't do a lot, but it took enough time to swap everything else. Like Polley, isn't it? You know, we did 4 different shocks, different brake discs, different this, different that, different this. You know what I mean? Like, before you know it, you've got half a car sat on the floor over here, and you're using it.
Could you change the rules so 1 car will be almost identical for shale and tarmac? Would that be possible?
I don't think you can. I think they've gone too far, to be honest.
Yeah.
Between an out-and-out shale car and an out-and-out tarmac car, there's so much different. You know, like, as well, like Dave went to the extent of cutting the side rails off of his car to put a wider side rail on for tarmac, obviously for the wider wheel offsets and stuff, and then cutting it back off and now pushing it back in for shale. I mean, like, you know, it's a couple of nights work a week just in steel work, just to add the steel to it to go race tarmac and then take it back off to go race shale. It's a massive amount of hours.
We tried to get a nerf rail the last 2 years, never mind chopping. It's like when you see the videos of Ant Wharton Eels with that thing of his, and every week it's like the metalwork.
Brand new, isn't it? Yeah.
You know what? I cut the bumpers off my tarmac car. I don't know how many meetings it's done or whatever. Obviously, it was new for World Final. We put the side rail got damaged, obviously, so we repaired that. I think it got replaced actually on the Sunday. I don't know. I didn't do it. Max and the boys did it actually. I was extremely hungover. So they fixed the car, Darren and Max and everybody. So I don't know if they put a start. I don't know what they did, whether they put a start or not. But and then that steelwork is the steelwork that's on it now. But obviously Callum's having it now. So we put a front and back bumper on it yesterday. And you know, they were the original bumpers from when I had it. I could do my cutting bumpers off every week. I'd rather work on the things that make it go faster rather than make it straighter. You know what I mean? If it's not bent in, it's going to hit the wheels or whatever, or going to ruin your chassis. Then you know, I'd leave it.
Yeah,
quite right, mate.
So is your priority going to be a shale car with it being a world final, or is it going to be a tarmac car, Tom?
Well, I'm going to build a tarmac car first.
Yeah,
I'm going to do what I did like this time, sort of thing. I'm going to build a tarmac, but I'm going to do it opposite around. I'm going to build a tarmac car first,
right,
and then I'm going to try and get a new shale car done, kind of semi-final time ish.
Yeah. Week before,
Where are they this year? Is it Buxton and where's the other?
Yeah, where are the semis?
I don't know. I believe it's Buxton and
I heard Bradford.
Really?
Possibly, yes. Possibly Bradford, yes.
Right.
One of the, you know, because say, be your Stox running it. So yeah.
I'm not seeing any fixture list or anything like that. I've
not seen anything, but I believe they're at Knockhill, aren't they? I think on
they're going up there. Have you raced there before or not?
No, I don't think I'm going to either. I think I'm going to go. No, Jake Harry's wedding's on the Friday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Start, isn't it? Saturday. So, and for me, like Knockhill is not a stock car track. So I'm going to save myself, have a good beer at the party, cruise up Saturday, and race Cowden Beef on Sunday.
Yeah,
excellent stuff.
Can I borrow your car for Knockhill then?
Believe it or not, we got asked if we were going to do the Cowden Knockhill. And I just said to him, I said, are you mad? I said, a cart going round Knockhill.
Take forever.
For starters, if it goes in the kitty litter, we'd lose it. I said, and then coming round turn, I said, they won't get up the hill at turn 3 and 4. Such a jump as you come out. But, we are, I mean, it's not public knowledge really, but we are on at the...
He's now.
This isn't for broadcast, but we are on at the Buxton semi.
Right, okay.
Well, it's going to be a 2-dayer, is that? It's going to be this Buxton semi Saturday, and the F1s are racing there on Sunday, something to do with the BSCDA, I believe, and we're there for the full weekend as well.
Oh, right, okay. Have to sample a couple in the bar then, Neil.
Yeah, well, we've had a few in the bar in Buxton before, haven't we, Tom?
Oh, yeah, we have actually. We'll have to, Mr. Randon's available. We'll have to get him in the bar, and that was Buxton semi. Was that not long? Was that not Buxton?
It's the British, was it?
It was the British. You're right. Yeah,
British.
Yes. Yeah. I've heard as well. I don't know if this is right. I've heard as well that we're doing a Ipswich Saturday, Great Yarmouth on Sunday.
I'd heard something along those lines. Whether, well, I don't know, but
Have you been to Great Yarmouth?
I've been to Yarmouth.
Yeah, I've raced at Yarmouth.
I raced a Granada at Yarmouth. I wouldn't be racing a stock car at Yarmouth. It isn't very wide.
Is it postal wire there?
Yeah.
But it's tiny.
I raced the Formula 1 at Yarmouth. There's nothing wrong with it. The speed I'm going, it was
my legs have got bigger posts on than the fence at Yarmouth.
It's a tight old track as well, isn't it? It's not the widest.
Did you race Aldershot, Tom?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I took little Callum down there. I raced in a banger. I haven't raced Formula 1. I took little Callum down there.
Right. Yeah.
I was there for that.
It was the week. I believe it was just before Ipswich. I think it was, wasn't it?
I can't remember now.
No. I don't know if it's on again this year. I hope it is because it's very well received.
It's local for me, so it would be nice. Yeah, it's a good little track. It's fun.
I took Callum down there, and I didn't race because I think I was doing Catherine's car for Catherine to have her car back. I think that's what I was doing. I don't know. I took little Callum down there anyway, and he had a terrible day. He had done a gearbox in his heat, and then he was the second. It took me in the Constellation, and the brake disc shattered. Cool. So he thought he would go down the spin. He hit the tyres, bounced back out on the track, and got collected by everybody. It wrecked the back axle and front axle.
Oh, Christ. So
the next
great little track, though.
Straight in the fence, and then nobody's going to collect you.
Yeah.
Bounce round the fence.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's daunting, though, isn't it? You know, when you go down the straight and you press the brake pedal, there's nothing there. That's
not good.
That's fun.
My younger brother did that, at Holland at the long track at Baarlo, and we found out he had no bottle because he'd obviously lifted off and gone to press the brake, and he was only at the halfway line down the straight. But he panicked and he threw it onto the infield, and he skidded all the way across the infield, and he hit the Armco sideways, and it took the Armco back and everything, and I thought, shit, he's going to be dead. And I jumps over the fence and goes there, and he gets out, and he was fine, and he swung and he booted the car and broke his foot.
The irony.
Yeah.
There's a couple of places I'd love to, in a stock car, I'd love to have a go around, like the long track, Baarlo.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a go around there. And I don't know if they'd let you, but the big track at Venray.
Yeah.
I just think I love the speed and stuff you go around the track in a sprint car. I just believe that the tarmac cars of today, you'd be able to go around, you'd get some pace around that big track at Venray.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what sort of lap times you could do compared to them late models and them ASCAR-ish things they wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to be quicker than them, I'd have thought.
I reckon it would be.
Yeah. No, that would be something else. I've like a sprint race, no contact thing.
Just start on the track and just do a bit of a.
Yeah. I raced Baarlo 10 times, I think, and the first 8 times, I couldn't get what Folding, because Folding loved it, absolutely loved it, and we only went for the piss up, and if we took the car, we got €250 or whatever, and then so that's what we do basically, and go and have a brilliant week and that. And then one year we decided to build a proper car, and we had a freaky engine done by my mate at Performance Unlimited, and we hit the speed. You know what I mean? We got there, and I came from the back. And I lost my fan belt hitting Lundy going into the bend, and he won it that year, and I was ready for passing him. That's how quick, and I come from the back. I've got a video of it somewhere, and Ron Kroonder come up to me straight after the race and offered to buy the engine off me, and I said no, and fucking 3 meetings later, it destroyed itself at Skegness.
Oh no!
Bastard.
I'll tell you what it was. It was a block that we'd had, and my brother had a crash at Ennisford, and he actually twisted the block, and it was 125 thou over when he did it, and it twisted the block. So the man at Performance Unlimited, we put a bitzer together, is what we called it. So the block, in America, they run it in the dragsters, and it's concrete. So they fill it all the way up to the water jackets to stop, you know. So basically, because they weren't bow tie blocks back then, so your liners were literally nothing. So they took it all the way out. I got a stroker crank off Pete Folding that he gave me out of his scrap bin. And Dave Powell, the man that was doing it, he said, right, we'll put alley rods in it because they're cheaper than putting steel ones in. He said, you'll probably only get 10 meetings out of them, but it's still cheap. So we put alley rods in it, and we built this engine. We put a 1050 Dominator carb on it, went to Holland, and fucking ding dong. It absolutely flew. And then we come back to the UK, straight from Holland to Skeggy. And I went out in practice, and I got this big 1050 Dominator on and all this lot. And I just struggled like mad. And I was big friends with Andy Webb then. And I said to Andy, go out in that, Andy, and just tell me what's up with it. So he goes out in it, comes off, gets out the car. He's got sweat dripping off him. And I says, it ain't that hard to drive, Andy. He went, Ian, that's fucking fear. He said, how you drive that thing? He said, you know, anyway, Tim Mann was, I was friends with him then. And basically we ended up moving the engine 6 inches. We had the engine too far back for Tarmac. So we moved the engine six or 8 inches forward and pulled the front axle back. And then it ended up being that's the one that Bob Ciccone raced. But when we first built it, it had this, the engine actually stood me under $2,500. And it was a beast.
Really?
Yeah. Changed a bit.
I'll tell you what, though, like, back to sprint cars, you know, like, you forget, you get pushed off in a sprint car, and it pushes you off, and it's like, you flick the switch, and it goes, boom, it's like, fucking hell, like, and you're in a confined space sort of thing in the push lane, going back to the pits, back to your transport for engine heat. So you're trying to drag the brake to slow it down, and it's just like locking the left front. It's like you're making it worse, and it won't come out of gear because you're making the engine look down. It's like, oh, like it'll happen again in February. The first time they push me off in February, it'll be like, yeah, like
your brain's got to keep up with it all, hasn't it, Tom?
Yeah, you flick that switch, and it's like being at 2,000, 2,300 or whatever. 2,300 revs, 2,500 revs, flick the switch. It's like being in top gear. But like, you know what I mean? It's like you're trying to hold it back, and it's just like, oh, yeah. It does take a little bit getting used to.
Mental.
Every time, like the midgets now, it's bad because they don't start particularly great. You know, you roll around with them, and it's they're really quite tame. And then you get in a sprint car that's 900 plus horsepower and massive tires, and like I say, it's all right when you're on the track and that. It's all right because you've got plenty of space, haven't you? But you know when you're going back to the paddock and they've just pushed you off for engine heat, and like you come down to push you, and it's like, no, there's people everywhere.
Yeah, health and safety, love it.
Yeah, go.
I really want Catherine to have a go in Florida. I really want her to have a go.
So, possible?
Pardon?
Is that possible? Do you think she will? Or
yeah,
not?
I said to her, like, because basically I've got a different engine. So we're going to run one car at Volusia with a big engine, and then the other engine where Ocala slicks off a lot. So I'm going to put the other engine in the other car because I've got 2 cars that are 2 really good cars now. So I'm going to swap the engine. So we're going to have one with a big engine in and one with a smaller engine in. Not smaller engine, but a lot milder engine for Ocala where it sticks off so much. So hopefully she can race the big engine car at Ocala.
Cool. Are there many women drivers in sprint cars, and are there
yeah, there is a few. Yeah, Harley White, there is a few. Yeah.
So good midget racers. I know that.
There's a lot of midgets.
Good.
Katie Bryson, she's really good.
She's fantastic.
She's an RC mixer at Chili Bowl, and she won a USAC Silver Crown race this year.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
Silver Crown races. You ever thought about doing Silver Crowns? Because like you say, you like Tarmac. So
do you know something? I'd actually quite like to have a go in a Silver Crown car on pavement, or a midget or a sprint car on pavement, but it's so they do that. I think they're a little 500. It's like the week before the Indianapolis 500. It's a pavement race for non-wing sprint cars. But
it is manic. I've been to that a few times. They do refueling on the infield.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they have big Bowsers, don't they?
They just kind of drip feed.
Yeah, gravity feed Bowsers. Like they're like an IBC on a fucking big pitch.
That's it. On a ladder. It's on a ladder.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The track's little quarter miles, not very big, high banked, 500 laps, 33 cars. And they don't know. Well, that's cautions, but you can come in for refueling, and the push truck will push you back out on the track and you're on the track with the push truck as the cars are still racing by. It's
only in America.
500 laps.
500.
He's only ever done 50.
You don't know.
500
about 2 hour race, but you don't. When you watch it, you don't realise it's 500 laps because there's so much going on. It's just a manic race, and if you can get to it, I'll go try.
I had the chance to drive for a guy. He owns near where Blue lives. There's a guy who owns like a bar and thing, and Isaac Chappell drove for him last year, and he mentioned it to me, but it just I don't know. I wouldn't want to just go and do that. I'd want to go for a bit of a run somewhere first and just see how things went, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's like I said, I start on 3 wide as well. The track was no bigger than.
Well, I knew about it because obviously when I used to run from Bobby's shop and Bob helped me with the sprint car stuff. Obviously that Bob's mad into it. You know, he has a couple of cars that go there, so you know, I remember the tires and stuff going back and breaking the bead on the Tarmac tires for him because they're a lot stiffer sidewall than what the dirt tires are. So I was breaking the beads for him so he could take the tires off the wheels. But yeah, they're I would like to go in one just to the experience sort of thing. Just to, and again say that I've been there and I've sort of done that sort of thing.
Fit it all in though, isn't it? Basically, got enough to do as it is.
Yeah, can't do everything. That's the problem. I wish I could do everything, but I can't do everything.
No, exactly.
I never. It's not going to be long, is it? Because I have a 4-year-old that's mad on racing, so that's going to be like within the next 12 months, isn't it? That's going to.
There we go.
It
starts all over again.
Micro F2, and here we go.
I went to look at a micro sprint in America. Went to look. End up fucking leaving with it, didn't I?
Did you? Oh, really?
Yes, they Robert Blues stripped it all, and Scott Ronk, Parker Price, his dad, which owns Chalkstick Torsion Bars, he's had it sandblasted and powder coated. So yeah, there you go. Why? Just why? You know when you just go and have a look at that, and then
teach you to do belly dancing or something, Tom. It's a lot cheaper a pair of pumps.
Exactly. Play the violin or something.
Like when she drove that micro at Will Farm Night, obviously the first that ever she drove that was Saturday morning.
Yeah, well, it wasn't running, was it? I had to get it.
No, that's it. You had to get it going because I couldn't get it started, and then you being a Stox kart man. Managed to get it going and whatever, and then, like I say, that's the first time she ever drove it, and now she's freaking mad for it. She was mad for it, like she's got a quad and she goes around the garden and ripping my mum's grass up. So, she's mad for it. Racing mad. Everything's race. Everything has to be a race. We even have to race to brush our teeth. Like it's
dear. No, it's good.
It's great, isn't it?
It is good.
Right, I am going to have to do one, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that.
Cheers, mate. All the best.
See you then. Take care, mate. Bye.
All right, see ya.
Find out how to switch the bloody thing off now.
I've got to do the same.
I forgot how to do it. How to do it.
There you go. See ya, chaps.
He was good there, wasn't he? He was brilliant.
He was fantastic. Give it up for it. It was good. Really good. I shall try and get it all ready for the weekend if I can and see what hopefully get before.
Well,